Yes, our latest survey taken on the eve of the referendum shows Remain winning by a narrow margin of about 2 percentage points, 52%. There's also been a rise in the proportion of Britons as a whole expecting Remain to win. So let's see, there are still 13% of people who say they may change their mind, and 5 to 10% will make up their mind finally in the polling booth, where I am not allowed to go. It's perfectly possible that England will vote to leave, but London, as the capital city, and Scotland and Northern Ireland will all vote to remain, and ultimately will outweigh the views of the English as a whole. I think only if this referendum comes down to the last few thousand votes will people be saying, yes, the weather, it was the weather what won it, God did it. It is true, it seems, that the rain has fallen most heavily on the capital city, which is strongly for Remain, and we will see what happens. But it really, when we looked at it with the Met Office a few years ago and looked at all of the past elections and the weather, it's difficult to see a very absolutely certain pattern, but it is true that Brexit voters are much more determined than Remain voters.
I'm really not quite sure. I had been thinking about out because I didn't think that David Cameron had given a strong enough argument for why we should stay in, but there's so much about what the impact would be in the short term that I'm quavering towards the in vote. So I'm really not decided yet. I've got a bit more time to make my mind up.
One is I'm worried about how it affects me personally, financially, versus Europe, someone remote telling us what to do. And I really need to make a decision on those two things. They're the key things for me.
I voted on my way into work this morning, and I'm voting to Remain because I think we're stronger in the European Union